All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. I'm Isabella, and I work at the Kahoot office in Austin, Texas. I'm so excited to have y'all join us. I'll be going through some of the basics of Kahoot creation so that you can power up learning with Kahoot. Okay, let's get started. So here's our brief itinerary for the day. Very quickly, before I go into the demo, I'm going to talk about what is Kahoot? What are the main ways that teachers use Kahoot with their students? Then I'm actually going to log in to one of our Kahoot accounts and show you a very hands-on approach to our Discover page, how to create a Kahoot, student-paced learning, which we call challenges. Then I will even show you how to host a Kahoot live over video conferencing. So today I'm presenting on Zoom. You can actually host a Kahoot live over Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Skype, Google Meet, any video conferencing tool where you can share your screen, you can host Kahoot. Yay! So I'll show you how to do that, and we will even play a Kahoot ourselves. Then there's more. Yes, I'll show you how to check out reports after a Kahoot so you can get some great insights into how your students performed with the material. And then we have a new feature called groups. I will show you how to create a group. Then we'll go over any questions at the end. As we go along, I will be showing a mix of free features that come with our basic account, which is our free plan for all teachers. Kahoot is forever free for educators. This is huge for us. It's really important to our mission. We always want to help teachers make learning awesome. That being said, we do have some upgraded plans with fancy new features that I like to show. I will do my best to differentiate between the free features and the paid ones. If you have any questions or you miss it, feel free to ask me. However, the best resource to figure out which features belong to which plan is our website. If you go to kahoot.com, you can click on the schools button on the top left. There, you get a little pop-up and scroll down and click available plans. In the available plans page, we actually have a matrix that has all of our features, and you can see which plans have which features and even compare. That's the best place to go if you're confused about a feature and which plan it falls under. Great. Okay, let's see. Let me check the chat before we jump in. Great. It looks like I don't have any technical issues so far. If I do, please let me know. Wonderful. People from Kentucky, Serbia, New Jersey, the Bronx. My mom. Hi, Mom. And Gina. Oh, yay. Great. Well, thank you all for joining. And I'm excited to go over Kahoot. So, Kahoot. What is it? Kahoot is a game-based learning platform where you can create and host learning games with your students to review content, introduce new material, conduct formative assessment, homework, and more. Kahoot is more than just a trivia game. There's really a lot of power behind it. And the past 2 years, we've invested a lot in new question types, better reports to help you make teaching easier and awesome. Here are some of the top ways that teachers actually use Kahoot. One of the first ways is revision and review. It's great for reviewing content before a test to make sure that your students are understanding the material and to see if you need to go over and review anything else. Formative assessment. There's to introduce and instruct on new content. I need to exit out of the chat window. It's covering my presentation. As a reward or icebreaker, as homework with challenges on the mobile app. I'll show you these in a little bit. And of course, to support students creating Kahoots themselves. We call this learners to leaders. We love to see students create Kahoots, and it really engages their thinking, much like a book report or having them present on a topic does. It's a different type of thinking. There are 2 ways that you can play Kahoot. The first way to play is with a live game. This is the classic way to play Kahoot. When you think of playing Kahoot, you usually think of this live game. So in a live game, everyone plays at the same time with questions and answers on players' screens. In the classroom, this works great. You usually have a big, TV or a big projector where you host the game on so students see the questions and answers that way. And then they use a device like a phone or a computer, an iPad, a Chromebook to actually type in their answers. This still works just as well over distance learning when you're playing remote. The thing is, when students play, you need to make sure that you're sharing your screen so that they can see the game. And then they either need to minimize the Zoom window on their computer screen and have half Zoom, half the Kahoot player control, or they can use a second device. Again, I'll go over this later when I actually host a game over Zoom. The second way to play is with a student-paced Kahoot challenge. This is one of our new ways to play, and you can assign challenges as self-paced Kahoot games. They can be played anytime, anywhere, with any device. So if you can play on the Kahoot app, or you can even go to kahoot.it, type in the pin code, the challenge will pop up and they can play right there. So the big difference with the Kahoot challenge is that students can see the questions and answers on one device. It's all right there on one screen. Challenges are great for homework, they're great for review, and they're also great for students to study. We have a couple new study modes on our app for students, and this has just exploded during the pandemic because it's a great way for students to learn on their own time, and they're a lot of fun. Okay, so let's jump to Kahoot.com. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and hope that I can switch it over. Okay. So now we are looking at the Kahoot dashboard. This is what shows up when you log into Kahoot.com. You're all logged in. This is your homepage. It's what we call the dashboard. On the left, you can see some information about your plan. You can find your username. There's also some blog posts right here with some news that might be interesting to you, some top picks for Kahoots, some of your latest reports, and also your Kahoots right up here in the top right. The first thing I want to talk about is our Discover page. This is the home of all of our high quality content for Kahoot. If you are in a rush, class starts really soon, or class is in session, and you want to find a Kahoot about any topic, this is where you can go. Up here is the search bar. And it works just like a Google search bar. You can type in a subject and it pulls up all of the public Kahoots that fit that subject. For me, I'm a history nerd. I love history. I love geography. Let's try to find a Kahoot about European capitals. You type it into the search bar and then, wow, look at all these results, over 3,000 results. You can even filter the results down by subject, grade level, what type of user created the Kahoot, and what language it's in. All of these filters are super helpful when trying to find a Kahoot quickly. That being said, the most important thing when playing a public Kahoot is that you remember that these are created by users, teachers all over the world, just like yourself. Sometimes there are typos, or maybe the Kahoot actually covers a different topic than what you were expecting. The easiest way to prevent any unexpected occurrences is to quickly preview the Kahoot before you actually launch it with your class. To do that, you can click on the Kahoot and it'll actually load all of the questions and the answer options. So you can very quickly scroll through, you can click, make sure the question types look good, make sure the illustrations are appropriate to what you're learning about, and then you can click play and you can either play it as a live game or you can assign it as a challenge. This works for all public Kahoots. It's pretty awesome. If you do spot a small error, or maybe you want to change up a question a little bit, add your own question, most of our public Kahoots you can actually duplicate and edit yourself. So if you want to do that, there's a button right here. It says edit. You click on it. Kahoot will automatically duplicate it into your account, and then you can edit it as you see fit. This is super handy. It's a big time saver, and I know we could all use a little bit more time. The other awesome, super awesome thing we have on our Discover page are our brand new Kahoot Academy Premium Partner Collections. We launched Kahoot Academy this summer. We actually announced it at the Kahoot EDU Summit. I'm sure a couple of y'all were there. So Kahoot Academy is our brand new learning platform, and it's way more than that. It's huge. And with Kahoot Academy, there are two different types of Kahoot collections now. The first one is that we now have collections from verified educators. So teachers can apply to become verified, and then once they get accepted, you can actually have a special profile put on Kahoot. Like here's Gina right here. She's our teacher of the week. Gina, thanks for attending today. And here you can see Kahoots that Gina has actually created, and you can play her Kahoots. So if you're an English teacher, you're short on time, you know Gina's Kahoots are great, perfect. You can go right to her profile, look at her Kahoots, find one that fits your topic and play it. You're good to go. We have a very similar setup with our Kahoot Premium Partner Collections. We've partnered with some awesome companies like Marvel, and the MLB, Common Sense to really curate some excellent, high quality, ready to play games that cover all sorts of different subjects. For example, our new Marvel Science collection is awesome. Students love Marvel comics, so there you go, it's a win-win. These are all based around STEM subjects, and we're hoping to release some more Kahoots soon. We also have some brand new social and emotional learning Kahoots with some partners, Pika Pack, Empatico, Peppy Pals. These are all fantastic collections if you want to cover social and emotional topics with your students. That's a Kahoot Academy. It's wonderful. We also have our collections called Kahoot Studio. These have been around for a couple of years. These Kahoots we create ourselves. We hire teachers to create these Kahoots, and then we publish them for y'all to have easy access when you're trying to use them in class. For example, here's one of those Kahoot Studio accounts, social and emotional. This is brand new. We launched it in August. You can scroll down the Discover page and find even more. Oh, there's Glenn. Glenn, you're also here today. Thanks, Glenn. Math, Dragon Box, Poyo, Britannica, keep scrolling. And then we have trivia. So if you're looking for a fun icebreaker or reward for your students, history, that's my subject. All of these are really great. So we're really trying to make the Discover page a resource for you to save you time, to make your lives easier, and so that you can engage your students while they're learning and make it super awesome. We love the word awesome here at Kahoot. Okay, now that I've shown you Discover, I think it's time that we actually make a Kahoot ourselves. To make a Kahoot, you click on Kahoots up here and then go to Create. It's that easy. Just kidding. It's almost that easy. So we have a couple of different templates that you can choose from if you don't want to start from scratch. Today, we're going to start from scratch. Click on New Kahoot. Let me just check the chat real quick, make sure all of our tech stuff is working. Okay, great. We seem to be doing well so far. Okay. So here, this is your basic Kahoot multiple choice question. This is where you can type in your question and you type in the answers below. Like I said, I love capitals. I love geography. So today, let's make a Kahoot about European capitals. So our first question will be, what is the capital of the United Kingdom? This is a tough question. And then you put in your answers below. So you have London, Paris, Rome, and we'll do Washington, DC. Then you click a checkbox for the answer that you want to mark as correct. Now we can start to get creative with our question, and we have a couple of different options. So all that I've just shown you is free. This is just the classic multiple choice question. This is free forever for teachers. It will get you to what you want to do. Over here, we have the time limit. So you can actually change the timer for each question depending on how difficult it is. If it's a harder question, like a math question, or maybe you are having, like, teachers enjoy uploading photos that are maybe like a word, like a math word question, or read this text and pick out the word that is our vocabulary word or whatever. You can put that there. So you can change the timer to be up to 4 minutes long. That's free. You can change the time however you want. We now have a points toggle. It's automatically set to 1,000 points. You can double the points if it's an extra hard question, this is also a great feature if you have students who are starting to, who let me read, hold 1 second. So when you have students who are playing and sometimes they start to fall behind, you can have double points questions and then all of a sudden it'll double their points and they're back in the game. I love putting double points questions in my Kahoots. I think it raises the stakes and it gets everyone even more excited to get the question correct. You can also have 0 points questions. So if it's kind of like a poll question, if you are maybe asking a hard question and you don't want students to get upset if they miss it, you can turn on 0 points. That is free as well. The points toggle is free. We have a new answer option here. This is our single select. This is the default. Now we also have multi-select. So multi-select is one of our new pro features. So it's a paid feature. And like you've always been able to do with Kahoot, you can always mark more than one answer correct. However, students, when they answer, they can only choose one when single select is chosen. So even though there might be a couple of correct answers, when students are playing, they can just select one. If you enable multi-select, then they can choose more than one. Yes, so this is a huge opportunity for students to be able to earn points while they're playing Kahoot. This is another good one for hard questions. This is, again, deeper level of thinking. They get points for each correct answer that they choose when multi-select is on. However, if they mark one incorrect answer, they don't get any points. Yeah, so it's a pretty, another great way to raise the stakes. It wouldn't put all of it on the line. Okay, so single select, and then this Kahoot question's looking kind of boring. Let's add a photo. So you can go to our Getty image library. Getty Images operates this. We don't operate it. And you can go and you can type in whatever image you want. We do have some images that are available for free, but most of the images are under one of our paid plans. So if you really want to have full access to the library, it's part of our pro plan. All right, I like this photo of London. Let's do this. And then it pops it right in there. Yay, great. You can click the info button and even add alternative text to make it more accessible for your students. You can credit the image. You can also crop it with this button. If you want to zoom in on the Tower Bridge, there we go, look at that. That's awesome. And then on the right, we have one of our new gameplay options, image reveal. This is exactly what it sounds like. Basically, you can click on this and it will slowly reveal the image in different tiles. It's pretty cool. This is also one of our paid features. This is the pro plan. And if you can see it kind of does some tiles here. If you don't like how the tiles are arranged, you can click it again and it reshuffles the tiles. It's fun. I think image reveal is perfect for hard questions where you want to provide your students with a hint. Some of the students might need the hint, others won't. Image reveal is a great way for it to slowly reveal. The students who know what it is without the hint will get more points because of how the Kahoot time or the Kahoot point calculator works. But people who need the hint can wait a little bit and they can still get it correct and once they realize what it is after the hint. Okay, excellent. Now let's go ahead and add another question. We'll do a quiz question again. So let's do another capital. What is the capital of France? Now this is a pretty new feature I want to show you. A lot of teachers don't realize that it's there yet. We released it just a few months ago, but it is free. It is free for teachers. You can use it as much as you want. It's awesome. It's our images as answers feature. That means you don't have to have text in your answer boxes here. You can actually add an image instead. So again, you can upload an image or you can use our Getty image library. Let's find a great photo of Paris. Oh, that's so nice. There it is. You can crop it if you want to zoom in on the Eiffel Tower. And then you can go through and add images as answers for all of these. Do Rome again. Yay. So this is fun, and you can even have questions that mix some answers that have images and some answers that have text. We could put Dublin and then could put another image. Let's do Belgrade. Oh, this is so nice. Okay, yes, so I love images as answers. Images as answers is great for students who are learning how to read. Maybe they can't spell or read too well yet, so you can have them match images with the question or match images with a word. I love doing that. It's also really cool for math, so for algebra. So I'm going to try and switch tabs and show you something. I saw this on Twitter the other day. I thought it was awesome. Let's see, hopefully it switched over. So this is actually Mrs. A, and she's in Texas, where I am, and she uses it like this. And so divide the following rational expression. We will define excluded values on the next problem. I'm not a math person, so I'm not sure exactly what that means, but look at that fancy equation right there in the images as answer. So basically what she did is she typed out her equation, took a little screenshot of it, and uploaded it as a JPEG right to that Kahoot. The possibilities are endless with images as answers. Okay, now we should be back on my Kahoot screen. Hopefully we didn't have any screen share issues. It seems like we didn't. The chat's not blowing up. All right, now I want to add a question using the question bank. Again, this is a free feature. All teachers can use it. If you want to create a Kahoot, maybe you're having a time crunch or you're sort of running out of ideas, this is what the question bank is for. Let me type, what is the capital of, and it'll search through all of our public Kahoots and pull questions that it thinks would be relevant for you. Here we go, perfect. What's the capital of Poland? And that's exactly what this Kahoot is about. So you can click add and it'll add it to your Kahoot. Then you can scroll and you can even add more than one at a time. So you can add as many as you need. Again, always check the questions and answers, make sure that it's accurate information. Close, and then it's right in your Kahoot. You can even edit the questions that you add through the question bank. So what's the capital of Poland? Maybe I think Vatican City is a little too easy of an answer option, so I could change it to Krakow. Okay, so once you add the question in through the question bank, the question is essentially yours. You can edit it however you want. Import slides. So this is another new feature that we have. It's part of Kahoot Premium Plus, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You can actually import a presentation from Google Slides or Microsoft PowerPoint and put it into your Kahoot to create an interactive lesson. We are really excited about this. I'm actually hosting another webinar in 3 weeks to go over all about Kahoot Premium Plus, especially for schools and districts. The registration page for that should be live tomorrow. If you want to learn more about Kahoot Premium Plus, any of our paid features, I definitely suggest you attend that. We'll be going over it in a lot more detail than I am today. And then sort of our last little button over here on the left is import spreadsheet. This means you can actually import an Excel spreadsheet. We have a template where you can create a Kahoot and you can upload it here and then it automatically adds the questions for you. It's really handy. This is a free feature. Okay, so now let me show y'all some of our different question types, my favorite. So here we have true or false. This is very straightforward. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's already filled out for you, true, false, you can't change it. So you do the capital of Ireland is Dublin, true or false, that's true, great. You can also add an image, change the time, do the points toggle. We have all those gameplay options there. Okay, let's add another question. We have type answer. This is one of our paid features. We were calling this open-ended question a few months ago, but we're calling it type answer now. It's just what it sounds like. You could say, what is the capital of Sweden? And then you type the answer, Stockholm. For this, it is spelling sensitive, but it's not case sensitive. It doesn't matter if you capitalize letters or lowercase letters, it'll be seen as the same. However, like I said, it is spelling sensitive. So what I always suggest is when doing a type answer that you make sure the answer is something easy for people to spell. A lot of the times what happens, even if you're typing really quickly and maybe you hit the wrong key and then hit submit, and you're like, oh, crud, like I'm gonna get it wrong. And yes, you get it wrong because the system doesn't realize that it's just a misspelling. So it's always a good idea to add other accepted answers. And what I usually try to do is sound out the word in my head and give some answer options that could be misspellings, and also give an answer option that might be an autocorrect or my finger slipped and hit the wrong key. So Stockholm, just especially with the younger students, it's always nice to add these other accepted answers. They can get very frustrated if they knew the answer but didn't spell it correctly. That said, if you're trying to test for spelling, it's perfect. All right, let's add another question type, puzzle. I love puzzle question types. They are great to get students focused. This is a paid question type, so it's a part of our pro plan. And puzzle questions are awesome for trying to put chronological pieces together, so timelines. Gina loves to use puzzles for spelling. It's great to get students to spell a word or even to put a sentence together. They can structure the sentence. And we'll actually play a puzzle in a couple of minutes when I play the Kahoot, and you can kind of see how it works. But essentially, you type in your question. What is the capital of, we will do Spain. And then you could type like this, Madrid. I don't know why I capitalized the D there. And then when it actually comes time to play, students have to move the tile around and put it in the correct order. That's a puzzle question. And then we have poll questions, exactly what it sounds like. It's multiple choice poll. You can have up to four different answer options. There aren't any points that are allocated. It's a great way to get a pulse check with your class, make sure they're understanding the material, see if you need to go back and cover anything else. And then these two features right here, word cloud and open-ended, are currently only available for higher ed. We are still working on making them available for kindergarten through 12th grade teachers. We're hoping to have that ready for everyone soon. We're just trying to finalize some details and make it perfect. I think there will be a lot of excitement around them when they are rolled out to everyone. They are both part of our premium plan, I believe. Yes, premium plan. Okay, and then we have Slide. So Slide is also part of a paid plan. It's a pro feature. It's one of our pro question types. Slides are a game changer. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's an informational slide. Instead of a question, you can have a YouTube video, you can have an insightful picture, you can use it to explain concepts after a question, or you can also use them to maybe give some information to your students, and then you can ask questions about it later. You'll see how I use this in my Kahoot in a little bit. Slides are great. They kind of break up the pace of the game. Students can relax for a little bit, they can absorb some information, and then they can go back to playing. Okay, excellent. These were all of our question types I wanted to cover today. Let me check the chat, make sure things are going well. Oh, yay, good. I'm glad y'all are enjoying the new features. So someone is asking, import presentation is only for Premium Plus? Yes, that's correct. That's a Premium Plus feature. Yes. Let me check the Q&A. Okay, so far so good. Just questions I can answer at the end. Okay, so now that we've created our Kahoot, right? It's time to host a Kahoot. Like I said earlier, there are two different ways to play Kahoot. The first one I'm going to show you really quickly is the student-paced Kahoot challenge. Look at this. I think we might be playing a Kahoot on European countries and capitals. I hope you were paying attention. So the first thing, like I said, is I want to show you how to assign a student-paced Kahoot. So you click assign, and then you have a couple of different options. So here, when you assign a challenge, you can actually pick a deadline. So you can make it due in a week, you can make it due in a few days, you can make it due up to about a month later. Right, so let's make this for a month for all of our friends who watch this on YouTube later on. Okay, so do that. And you can turn the question timer on or off. This is really good feature for young learners. Maybe you're more focused on wanting them to review the material and not be stressed about the timer. You can toggle this on or off. Personalized learning. This is where after the game is finished, if you play on the Kahoot app, the Kahoot app remembers which questions you missed, and you can replay the game with only the questions you got wrong. And you can replay them until you get all the questions correct. Something to remember, if you toggle this personalized learning on, you can only play the challenge on the Kahoot app. Okay, so don't turn this on if you want your students to be able to play on our website. I usually suggest you turn it off. Okay, and then randomized answer order. You can change the questions up. Nickname generator, so you can turn the nickname generator on and it'll give people a fun name when they join, like silly giraffe or red owl. It's always an adjective and then an animal name. They're super fun. I'll turn this off and then you click create. Da, 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 da. Wow, we've created our challenge. Awesome. So the way you can share your challenge is you can either copy the URL and put it directly into an LMS system. You can email it out. You can put it in Microsoft Teams, whatever you want to do. It's just a normal URL. And students would then put that URL into their browser and it takes them right into the challenge. We also have these handy buttons right here. You can share it directly to Microsoft Teams. We actually have an integration with Microsoft Teams. If your school is using Microsoft Teams, go to our blog and search Teams. You'll find a great article all about that integration that walks you through how to add the Kahoot app to Microsoft Teams, and then you can actually assign challenges right in the Teams app. Super cool. Facebook, Twitter, Remind, lots of ways to share it. You can also just share the game pin right there. I run our TikTok account, and sometimes I like to share challenges on TikTok. I always use the game pin so that students can play. You can also change the deadline. If, like we just set it for a month, if you decide, oh, actually I want to end the challenge after a week, you can click change deadline and change it right there. You can even end it. Once the challenge has occurred, you can also view the podium. There will be a button that pops up here that tells you can view it. And this is the reports page. We're going to cover the reports page after we play our Kahoot right now. Okay, so I showed you how to assign my European countries and capitals Kahoot as a challenge. Now we're actually going to play it as a live game. Like I was saying earlier, the most important thing to remember when you play Kahoot over video conferencing is to share your screen. If you don't share your screen, when students try to play, they put in the pin code, they'll see buttons, but they won't actually see any of the text, so they won't know what they're answering. Here are a couple of game options. Like I said, we have the nickname generator. You can change the lobby music, two-step join. We're just going to play in classic mode. And I actually usually like to mute the music. Congratulations, Just NYC. Rams, congratulations. And Nina. Runners up, Istanbul and Mom. Great job. Great job, everyone. That was so fun. I hope y'all enjoyed learning a bit about European capitals. Congratulations. I hope y'all enjoyed getting to see the Kahoot questions in action. Before I show reports in groups, let me do a quick check with the chat, make sure everything is all good. It's so fun. So I had to toggle between screens. How will students see this? So Amy, give me a few more details in the chat. When you say toggle between screens, did you have two different tabs open in a window? What I suggest is trying to drag out the tabs so that they're separate windows next to each other. And I guess I can share my screen real quick and try to show you what I mean by that. That might be helpful. Okay, so here's my desktop. And you can see here's like a Kahoot page. And here's that fun tweet with the cool math. You can take the tab out and then minimize them and put them side by side. So the idea would be that on the left screen, maybe you have your Zoom window with the teacher talking. So your students would see you talking in the Zoom and hosting the Kahoot, like I just did. And then they could open a new window right next to it and easily see the questions and answers and then pick their choice on the right. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me stop the share and check the chat. What's the best way to do this remotely if students are using an iPad and cannot do side-by-side windows? There's actually an app on iPad where you can do it. And I think, well, I know Zoom just made an update to make it easier where you can have a Zoom window open and something else open. We have a great article on our blog, one of many, called, it's basically how to use Kahoot with one device. If you search one device, you can find it. If you email me or tweet me, I will send it to you. Okay, great, back in action. Okay, so we just played our Kahoot and that went super well. And I want to dive in to some of the insights in our reports. So you click the reports tab up here. Here you can see a collection of all of the different reports that you have. We can actually check the report of the game we just played. You know, you can tell that we play a few Kahoots on this account, not too many. And we have lots of different Kahoot accounts at Kahoot. So here's what the report summary page looks like. A few months ago, we did a total overhaul of our reports. We refreshed them. We made it better. We made it even look cleaner so it's easier to use. You can see that this game didn't really have any difficult questions. Most of y'all were able to answer every question correctly. In most games, there are difficult questions, so those will pop up here. You can tell that 62% was the average correct of the game. That's amazing. It took us 10 minutes, 10 questions, 64 players. And here you can tell maybe some players that need help. It looks like maybe these players got disconnected. And you can also see who didn't finish. You can replay the podium if you want. And then there are some buttons over here where you can dive deeper into some of these insights. So here you can actually check for each nickname and see how each player did. So you can click on Nina. Since Nina got 100%. So here you can see that you did great. She got all of them correct. You can see how quickly they answered, how many points they got for each question. Even on the type answer, you can see what someone typed in. Pretty cool. So clearly Nina got first. They got lots of questions correct. And then you can see maybe what players need some help, what players didn't finish. You can also look at the questions and see the percentage correct / incorrect for each one. Again, you can tell none of these questions were too difficult. Most of them were at least above 50%. The Iceland one was the hardest one. Feedback. This is something you can toggle on if you want your students to rate what they thought of the Kahoot. You can turn that on and that information goes there. So there's a lot that you can see right here on our reports. We refreshed them. For the summary, I know for sure is free for all teachers on our basic plan, which is great. And then if you want to download the report as an Excel spreadsheet, you can do that here. So you can click download report, and it gives you all of this information in an Excel spreadsheet so you can manipulate the data, you can make more charts, you can track maybe student progress over time, that sort of thing. It's super great. Okay, so those are reports. And let me check the chat. Is it possible to use Teams instead of Zoom to play Kahoot? Yes, definitely. I can talk more about that in a second. Okay, everything's good in the chat. Those are reports. And then now, next to reports, we have this new button called Groups. We are very excited about groups. Groups are available for teachers in all plans. Depending on your plan type, you have a certain amount of groups that you can create. So if you're on our free basic plan, you can create one group of 7 yourself, you'd be that 8. So 7 other people can join your group. If you're on our Kahoot Premium Plus plan, which is our biggest plan, you can have an unlimited number of groups with an unlimited number of members. That's pretty fun. So you can click Create Group. It's right there. It's super easy. You can name it. You can put a description in. And for example, let's check out this group I made for biology. If you're a biology teacher, maybe you have some other colleagues at your school who teach biology, or you have friends who teach biology in other schools. Y'all love using Kahoot. You really enjoy creating Kahoots and sharing them. You want to make it easier. You should create a group. even though on the basic plan you have a limit for how many groups you can create, you can join however many groups you want to join. So that's nice. So here in our biology group, we have a couple of different Kahoots: ecology, deep sea animals, biology. If you want to add a Kahoot, you click add Kahoot, and then you can search your own Kahoots and add Kahoots. So I think I have one about biology. I just saw it. Where did it go? Biology organs. Let's add it to our group. Awesome. There, super easy to add one. And then if you're the admin of the group, you can check the members. This is a 1-member group. It's just Miss Woodchuck in here. And then there's the group settings if you're the admin. So you can change the name, you can change the description, you can change the visibility of the content and member permissions as well. Then if you want to invite people to your group, you click invite members, and you can invite them by their Kahoot username or by their email. Yeah, that's groups. This is brand new. We launched groups this summer. I lose track of time now with what is time anymore. But yes, we launched them this summer, and you should definitely try it out if you haven't. It's a pretty great feature. Okay, well, that's all we have time for today. Thank you everyone for joining me, and I hope that you learned something new. Tweet me at Kahoot Isabella. It was such a pleasure. And again, I really appreciate y'all attending, and happy Kahooting.